We do have on July the 27th, Hitting the Reset is Richie Manalt. And so he's going to be here to talk about what exactly is that. If you haven't seen that website, you should probably take a look at it so you know what you're up against. So before we get started with AmNoor and introduce him here, I want you to say good morning to everyone who's on here today and let us know, where are you right now in the world or in Canada? And sometimes it feels like the world. And what is it that you do in your business? This gives AmNoor and I an opportunity to see who's with us today and also be able to engage. The chat room is a great resource for you to ask questions, make comments, make this as interactive if you'd like. AmNoor is going to be sticking around as well to answer some additional questions as they relate to you or maybe someone you know, or you could be asking for a friend. We don't mind that as well. At the end, we're going to be sharing our information, so you'll get a chance to get connected with AmNoor as well. The format for Monday Mindset is pretty simple. We're really going to focus on one or two key areas of our topics today. We're not going to get into all of it. We know this meeting is only 30 minutes, so we really want to make it as impactful for you as possible. At the same time, we are going to also talk about taking some imperfect inspired actions. This is an opportunity for you to focus on one or two things this week, right? Not next week, not next month, not next year. It's really about this week, what can I do? And then be able to walk away with something. And then we'd love to hear your feedback as well about what does that look like for you guys. So that's a lot of talking. So let's just get right into it because I see a lot of new faces here. So I just want to make sure we kind of outline the format a little bit about today. So let's meet AmNoor Damji. Now, AmNoor has presented LinkedIn keynote speeches, webinars, and live conferences across Canada and internationally. He uses his background in human resources management along with over 10 years in career services to assist clients in need to seek best fit solutions. In one-to-one work and group settings, which he also does, he brings marketing savvy to competitive job search and again, be able to repackage his past work experience and to meet changing career goals. And I think a lot of people don't realize a lot of their skills are transferable. So that's what AmNoor really helps. On stage, and I've seen him, AmNoor is energetic, professional, enthusiastic speaker who stimulates and informs and inspires. Who doesn't want that, right? Careers and clients alike usually say he's thoughtful, creative, engaging speaker. He drinks a lot of tea from my perspective, but that's fine. He has an amazing ability to be respectfully engaging in what he's doing and how he's working with other people. He too is also a multiple award winner in various areas of the career development practitioner, professional business services, and also team category for business services. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome AmNoor. AmNoor, welcome to the Monday Mindset meeting. Did I miss anything about you there? I think you're mute.
There we go. Kyle, I was thinking I need to meet this AmNoor guy who you're talking about, loves to drink tea, well, chai. Thank you so much. It's such an incredible honor to be back again to speak about LinkedIn because I am passionate about LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. And, when we talk about job seekers, let's just move that needle slightly and talk about, are we all looking for jobs? Even as entrepreneurs, we are looking for our next contract. So how do we repackage what we have? Because we know COVID has changed everything, and how are we going to pivot to be able to do business right now? So thank you ever so much for inviting me back to speak about LinkedIn. So we'll start with, I hope everybody has a LinkedIn profile who are on the meeting this morning. If you do, can you please put a quick thumbs up with the reactions?
Yeah, using a reaction, let's just see who has a LinkedIn profile. Okay. It's a few folks here, or you could comment too if you can't figure out what the thumbs ups are. I see a few of you looking, okay, where is that thumbs? Okay, where is that?
Right at the bottom, the reactions is on the right of the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, and a shout out to Daryl for having a virtual Stampede wagon on his background. So thank you so much for that. Now, what is Calgary Stampede? It is where everybody comes together and really connects. And we were doing this more of a face-to-face setting. And right now, because we can't, that does not mean that the party not going on. We are doing this virtually. And how are we doing this virtually is by looking at people's profiles. It's called creeping, and that's a great thing. So when I talk about creeping, that means at looking at people's profiles and seeing what everybody is up to. One of the greatly missed opportunities is people said, well, I have built it. Now they will come. And so having a LinkedIn profile does not mean that your contracts, your next prospects, if you're in job search as well, that is going to be coming. There is a fine art and science to this. And there is also this key about being a brand, which is what we're going to be talking about and how we're going to create that content around that. So my friend Jeff always talks about the 3 Ps, and those are not pancakes for Stampede. Those are profile, people, and participate. So those are the key things for LinkedIn. Now, those of you who need this slide, who need this presentation after, Kyle will be uploading this on YouTube. So we are just going to try and participate as much as possible because that is the way we're really going to get a lot out of this. So let's start with profile. The profile is what happens when we see each other online, what you see, what's happening on that person's page, as you would say. And we start with a picture. How many of you know that you have to adjust the profile picture settings? Otherwise, what we see is a gray silhouette. Now, when you've been to a Calgary Stampede Network event, you haven't seen anybody go in the room with a brown paper bag on their face. You are seeing people with a smile, with an engaging hello, or maybe it was later on in the evening and they've had a one too many, and you'll be like, I'm not sure if what I'm creeping is a good thing, so you would turn away. So what do I mean by that? How can you then carry your brand in your profile picture? Having a neutral background, a bright smiling face, and something that's inviting. And what I talk about good lighting is that many times people think they would have to get a photographer, somebody who creates headshots. With the cell phone cameras that are out there, stand next to a window so you're getting that natural light. Never stand facing the window, otherwise, you know what, you cannot see the picture that clearly. And then there are these filters that you may apply. And luckily, we can apply filters there to sort of, make the picture more clearer. But not applying the filter on your posts in a way that you're being authentic is what I'll be sharing in a few moments.
So Elnor, before you go on there, because you really
Yes.
triggered a few things, because when we saw in COVID-19 lockdown, everyone ran to social media. Everyone was doing a lot of things. They heard
Yes.
great coaches like us tell people, get out there, be present, stay top of mind. And so they created LinkedIn profiles. And, we were seeing pictures such as, my first fishing trip, me unpacking the car. And I'm like, no one wants to see that, is what you're saying. At the end of the day, we want a clear representation of what it is that you look like. Now, if you're black and brown, you know all about lighting, okay? You need to know that you have to stand out. How do we stand in a mirror? And that's kind of what we're saying is you want to make sure pictures have the focal of what you're trying to do. I mean, I've said this 1,000 times, and Christopher's, my business partner, Christopher, is the death of me sometimes because he reminds me of this, is, when you see a photo and if you could put your thumb over the person, but you have all that landscape, it's just empty. Like it's a missed opportunity is really what you're saying here as well.
Yes. So it's head and shoulders. And, that's the image.
Not knees and toes. Heads and shoulders, not knees and toes.
Thank you. And thank you so much for those vacation pictures or pictures with the kids or with the spouse. I have seen so many business owners thinking, oh, I love my spouse so much that I'm going to put my LinkedIn profile picture declaring my love. Well, your LinkedIn profile is a singular person. It is not your company logo, and it is not any of the other things that you're doing, except if you are a fly angler fisher. I was going to say a fisher person is how I is the politically correct version of it. Then okay, have a picture. Making sure you've caught the beautiful big fish and you're safely releasing it, right?
Exactly.
So that is that. And yes, it's a missed opportunity is that everywhere on LinkedIn, you are creating a story. And that story is a missed opportunity if you have your title and the company name. You're much more than that. It's not your abilities. How do you then create that story is a huge piece. So yes, I would like you to use some of those keywords of the services that you provide. But what is that missing pieces of the jigsaw is what I like to call. You can capture that on your headline. That's just below your name. Now, above your face is the LinkedIn banner picture. And some people have gone ahead and created gorgeous pictures, and they, again, are missed opportunities. What is the story that LinkedIn banner picture is sharing? I like to use things like Pexels or Unsplash to create my story. Now, if you see my background, it's a virtual background as well, and it is lights. And the reason I use the lights, because my name, AmAlnoor, it's not Al. Please don't call me Al, like Garfunkel had said. That it means the light. And my wife would say it's the tube light, it flickers. Well, the thing is, it's the light, and I bring light to career and life journeys. So again, my LinkedIn banner picture is created, and I've used text as well to carry that message forward. Make it easy when people land on your profile is to contact you right away. If you have a website, have that. If you'd like to put your phone number up there, put it up there. So you're not making it hard when people land on your LinkedIn. It is a mini blogging site. It is your website in action. Websites are old school, I would say. LinkedIn is the new school. And we all know Kyle loves a new school because dancing and all of that as well.
That's another commercial. Let's go to another commercial there, AmAlnoor. These people don't need to know about that. But AmAlnoor, so just, kind of quickly, just if we could just summarize a couple things for us, right? When you talk about the 3 Ps, right, where we're talking about the profile, the people, and the participate. So what is like one key action that everyone can do this week when it comes to the profile? What is one thing you want to, for people to do right now? If they have a LinkedIn profile, if they don't have one, what should they do right now? And then same thing with the people. What do you mean by that? And as well as participate, because that's the other, I think, the secret sauce, right? So.
Thank you. So for your profile, make sure you have a picture up there that is visible. And are you using that tagline to create that story and the banner image? As well as in the about section, you get 3 lines, so making sure there is a hook, and there's a formula to this as well. So now for people, I see so many people saying, well, I know my friends, I know these people, and I will connect with them only. Well, this is another missed opportunity, is that connecting with only the people you know at a networking event that I talked about, we are connecting with lots of people. And how do you go ahead and connect is that you go to the person's profile and you click on personalized invite. If you go to my profile, what you will see is a follow button. So I would like you to click on the 3 dots that are besides that and scroll down to personalized invite. And in your personalized invite, please do not sell your services. That is spamming. And yes, Kyle, you have talked about this on LinkedIn. I have talked about this on LinkedIn. And what do I see people right away telling me what to buy from them? This is where I go with the participate over here. So please reach out to your network massively. Find out groups, like-minded people, find out your competitors. And this is another key thing is what I share is that to not only connect with people that are like you, connect with your competitors because we have a scarcity mindset.
Mhm.
We reach out and connect with our competitors. We're coming there with open arms because what was the slogan for Calgary during the COVID is clean hands, open minds, and open hearts. So that is where you are going to build your brand. And now, where do we build the brand? So many people like to go on to the participate piece that I'm going to be talking about. Is that when they go on people's profiles or they see these posts that are coming up on their page, what they do is they will read and scroll down. Is that creating your social media footprint? So when you have your profile created properly, you are then leaving your social media footprint. If you write a comment and you say, well, what do I need to write? Well, there is so much information that you have, so much subject matter expertise. You can agree with the post, but making sure that you do create comments. And not only comments, yes, I agree, but why do you agree? And what you can do is leaving your 2 cents worth. So this is what I'm going to share with you right now, is that find 50 people, 50 posts that you're going to comment on each and every day of the week. This is your inspired action from, okay, I'll leave you for Saturday, Sunday to just like breathe. Monday to Friday, I would like you to find 50 posts that you're going to create. You can share what you're agreeing about. You can share an article that you found on the comments, but please do not share what your brand is about, any workshops you're having or any sale promotion, because that is also spamming.
Mm-hmm.
Do not share this person's post. And what I see over here that's happening is that lots of people are sharing the post. You're not doing any service to yourself because you do not get traction on this. And this is with the LinkedIn algorithm. And you'd be thinking, oh, I thought I was doing great. And so I was going to call out Christopher here in a good way because I care deeply for Christopher. And he shared your post pile.
Yes.
It needs to be done is to take that information that was on that post and clicking on the 3 dots on the top of the post by copying the URL of the link of the post and then creating your own post. Maybe you can even take a picture snapshot of Kyle's post and then writing out your thoughts as well as adding some of Kyle's thoughts and using that link. Now, LinkedIn does not like when you create outside links. So when you are adding the YouTube links, your post is not going to get traction. What you do is you create that post. You then go ahead and click post. Once it's done, you go ahead and edit the post and you put the outside link to wherever that is, whether it be a website, whether it be YouTube, or any outside website link that is doing. What that's doing, it's tricking LinkedIn into thinking, okay, this is the original post. That's where the algorithm is. The golden hour is quite important. If you can get your employees, if you can get your business partners, all of those to go ahead and make a comment and not only look at the post, but the reactions, not just, there is also love. And now there's a new thing, care. Well, all know that we are caring individuals. So use all of those reactions, but please, please, please go ahead. And this is going to be challenging. It is going to be very challenging, but step outside your comfort zone. And then you'll be seeing, well, what kind of posts can I create? Well, there is so much in your industry. Are there any new products? And what are some of the people think that, oh, I cannot share the troubles I've been having? Guess what? We are looking for the imperfectly perfect. Thank you, Brenda. I love you a long time. Go ahead and share some of your mistakes as well and learnings from that, because people are seeing, yes, if I hire this person for this product that I need, They are showing that they have a thought pattern. They are able to solve problems. And this is where you're going to get that leverage.
Alnoor, thank you so much. As you could see, guys, when Alnoor said he was passionate about LinkedIn, he was not joking. There's lots of great information on there. We're going to post some contact information for Alnoor if you want to reach out to him, at least have a strategy session, have a conversation with him to find a little bit more about him and how can he help, and even look at your specific profile is another way of doing that. I just want to summarize a couple things. You heard Alnoor talked about the 3 Ps, right? The profile, making sure it is clear of who the person is engaging with, because no one walks into a networking room or wants to know anyone with a bag over their head. And again, is it relatable, right? Can I just look at your profile and know really simply in those 3 bio line, know exactly who you are and what you're about? It's not the end all and be all, but it's just enough for us to stop and take a look. And that is really the intent. When we talk about the people, who are you engaging with? How do you get out of your comfort zone and expand? You know, one tool I do for myself is when someone is connected with me and you accept their friend request or their follower or what have you, they show who else is in their network. Those are the people I start engaging. And when you're sending that personal invite, please do not tell them to tell you about yourself. When you go into a networking room, it's easy to say, you know what, Daryl, tell me more about you. I'd love to learn more about you. That makes sense, you know, face to face. But when you're online, I don't know you. I just added you and you want to know all about my business, all about my 2020 goals, all about, just simply say, listen, Daryl, I love this on your profile. This really resonated with me. I would love to discuss more or at least expand my network. Sometimes sending an invite saying, I'm looking to expand my network is very helpful as well. And then when we talk about participate, it's how do you engage? You may see a lot of things, and people have said that to me. And they said, oh, I saw your post on that. I said, really? I couldn't tell because you didn't comment on it. And that's usually how I respond when someone says, hey, I love what you posted on LinkedIn. I'm like, really? Because I didn't see you comment on it, right? You could ask for it like a Google review. Ask people to engage, right, in your content. And so really that's what it's about. I'm curious for you guys, what is one thing that you took away from today as the 3 Ps? Is there one P that's more important? Do you have a question or comment? How well are you right now with using LinkedIn? How many people are going to get off here today and say, I'm going to spend some time on LinkedIn? And that would be another tip I would suggest to you guys as well, is to be able to carve out that time. I know we're busy people, we're doing different things, but say 15 minutes a day, here's the time I'm going to do what Alnoor said about engaging at least, you know, my 50 profiles for this week, right? Or posts or anything like that. So we'd love to see some of those comments as to what resonated with you guys today. And then we will stick around as well to be able to chat about it. Now, Alnoor, while people are making some comments in the comment box, I'm curious, how many people, if you had to, I don't know, based on what you have seen, how many people percentile wise that you would say is missing opportunities on LinkedIn?
99%.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yes. So LinkedIn is very much of a professional site. People used to mistake it, well, it's my online resume. No, it's not. Once people started utilizing LinkedIn, the business to business owners are not having that message that is there. So what is that message? They're saying, well, I need to create my brand. The brand, the lights, having the chai conversations, and my red glasses, those are not really what the brand is. So what is that message that's showing up, whether it's business to business or potential employees? We know that you do have a lot to give. And so when that is not that is saying a message if you do not have a message for LinkedIn.
Yeah, people want to deal with people. I mean, we see time and
Yes.
time again. People want to
Mhm.
deal with people. And I know there's a lot of people in businesses, regardless. I see there's consultants here, people who do service providers, and or some people who sell products and stuff like that. And they constantly feel that the product is renowned and it's all these other things. And no one is questioning that, but you're still dealing with a people element. Like we see how we get frustrated when it's all online. And so what we're trying to talk about today is making sure you're using using content on LinkedIn that is relatable to people. It's not necessarily about building relationships, because I know, I mean, I get flack for sometimes when I say that to people. I'm not saying don't build relationship, but relationship comes after the fact. You can't build relationship with someone you don't know. Right. And in LinkedIn, you may not know the person. So in that moment, you want to be able to connect. Now, that's all the time we've kind of had. We're going to stick around and talk a little bit more with Alnoor, not Al, about LinkedIn content more. If this Monday Mindset meeting is beneficial for you, please suggest it to someone, share the link, because you're all on the distribution list now, so you'll get an email. We'll show you when this is get uploaded, and you have an opportunity to engage. Next week, we do have building profitable relationships, right? So there's a purpose to the building the relationship. Moji Ajali is going to be joining me next week with that as well. And again, if you have any additional questions or concerns, please reach out to me. More than happy to engage, to connect you with a co-host that's either coming up or has come up in the past. And again, if you do have feedback for us, you could be able to send those to us as well. Thank you so much for those who made some comments today. Any last words, Alnoor, before we
Yes,
move into the
please.
next
Now,
piece?
this is very much of a very small snippet. And so, Kyle, I'm really excited that I have these 5-part webinar series
Yes.
for entrepreneurs, business to business, to help you go through and really work on that profile piece. The profile piece, one of the harder things is that about piece, and then going ahead and having that company page also on LinkedIn. And from there, we go on to creating the content. We go on to deep dives on what we can do. So it's a 5-part webinar series that I'm excited to partner with, Change My Business Coaching, because this is about. So thank you again, Kyle. This is really great to come on board this morning.
Yeah, and those who want additional information when it comes to, I mean, this is a great way. It's our new normal, right? Being able to engage in those webinars, because a lot of times we have information, but we just don't know how to execute. That's always been a challenge for most people, not just business folks. So I think what you do in those webinars, Alnoor, is really be able to break it down for people. So guys, thank you so much for another exciting Monday. We will see you next week. And for those who are sticking around to join us for the after meeting, that would be fantastic. Take care, everyone. See you next week. Oh my goodness. I don't know about you guys, but I'm always so pumped Monday mornings now. I'm just so pumped. I don't know about y'all. That's the Stampede reference there. No? Anyone? No? Just Daryl? Okay. Welcome back. Alnoor, that's a lot of information, right? Like there's just so much to do. And I think sometimes that can get overwhelming for people with LinkedIn. And so I think the fact that you just kind of broke it down into that 3 bite size, it kind of makes sense. How can people, so say that they get the 3 piece, right? So they get the, the profile of the people and the participant. How can they leverage it, for their business? Because that is a part of it, right? It's not just making new friends. It's not about expanding my social circles, but maybe we could talk a little bit about how do they leverage that now to appropriately engage people? When do they bring up the, I want to sell you something?
So that is all about the dating. And when we are dating, and that happens a lot during Stampede, it doesn't turn out good is because they didn't go to the webinar, I guess. I'm kidding.
Did you say when they're dating?
Dating, yes.
Oh, sorry. That's, important to me.
Stampede romances are there. For those of you who are in Calgary know about Stampede, there are these...
I don't think we'd call it romance.
It's all about romancing on LinkedIn. And how do we romance is that that building the relationship. So I talk about social reciprocity. I'm sorry you had to chug that orange juice or coffee, but please tell me it was chai. Because the reason I have chai is also about a story that I've created. Is we drink chai to build a community, and its community helps each other. And that is what it is about building relationships on LinkedIn, is that we are creating a community that's doing social reciprocity. And what I mean by social reciprocity is that your organization, Carl, Christopher, Catherine, you've all shown up and being that not only the face, but the brand, which shows clearly that the voice that is online is also the voice that is offline. And so when people start building that trust around it, because that trust piece is so great, is people will start engaging in your content in such a way that will say, oh, and when others engage in your content, this is helping your content go onto their page to be on their feed in a way that their connections are then seeing this. This is how you build your social media branding piece.
Now, AimAlnoor, because you lost me at dating. That's why I'm taking a while to recover here. But I get that piece. And here's the thing that you just really tapped on that I think some people miss is there is something about, authenticity around what it is that you put out there. If you track someone with those things, and then you get them in and they start wanting to know more, but then you're actually a different person, that becomes a problem in real life and also in business. Right? So you cannot say that you're this thing and you're your customer service and you're focused and you're willing to help, but then when they come on board or want more, they realize you're nothing like customer service and you're nothing like, making things easy, friendly, kind, and caring. Like you're nothing like those things. And I think that is what needs to happen. So if you wear sandals and socks, wear them while you're dating. Some people will know that's what you will do, right? Again, maybe it's just me, but I think that's what you're saying is make sure your brand or who you are to contribute to that brand is consistent, because what we see a lot, and you could attest to this as well, what we see a lot on the posts that we do, people will say, oh my God, that's so you, that's exactly like you, that's exactly what you do, because it has to be authentic that way as well, right?
You can only, you'd be exhausted if you're living the social media life and not be able to carry it out all the time. And so this is what I talk about, authenticity, is that people sometimes tell me, well, how this is one big thing over here, is that not only am I a career strategist, so career strategist is not only for those who are looking for jobs, but those who are already established in their own businesses, is how can they use the GPS to navigate on their path, and also using cognitive behavior therapy as part of what I do on social media. Now, how do those two blend? And again, this is also part about who I am as a person. So my posts are not only about having those, leveraging the social media or your interview skills or how businesses can pivot. It's all about those career strategist piece. And with all that is happening right now with COVID, mental illness, and that was the session that I'd done earlier, a couple months ago, another thing is what I'm really passionate about. How many people are struggling right now? How many people are realizing that the tsunami of mental health issues that's going to be coming, which is not already started, this is going to be massive. And so this is the messaging that I share on LinkedIn. I show up authentic. During the month of May was mental health. And last year, I started this where for the whole month of May, I shared posts. This year, I was strategic in sharing posts, making sure I was visible, because I was also looking at, we are in that new normal where kids are home, the spouses are home, there is lots of things that are going on. Am I being clear of what I can do and sharing that as well? So there is a fine line when we're talking about who we are online and not being able to carry, because that will, social media spreads like fire.
Mm-hmm.
Brand, it's the 6 seconds that people look at your profile, it is at 3 seconds that your reputation can get ruined on social media. So
Yeah.
be very careful of who you are and showing up authentically. If you are not that polite, pleasant person, you will find that showing up on LinkedIn that way is not, it's going to go kaboom, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for saying that, Kyle. Is that that is very much true, and not to show up who you're not.
Right. I hope Carmel's listening to that, because that's a big piece. No, Carmel's a sweetheart. I think every Monday mindset meeting, I find a reason to pick on her. I really would.
Do we have two Carmels?
That's exactly, because if you know Carmel, she is the most friendliest person, and that's who you pick on, right? When you know it's not, has nothing to do with them. One thing, and I'm curious to hear what everyone thinks as well, because we're so into this, ALnoor, because there's so many different pieces on it, and I think this is what we're trying to be helpful for people when we're doing LinkedIn and be able to engage them, because it's a new way of doing it. And again, there's so many people, so how do you stand out on the crowd? You know, there's times where I've met with even clients or new clients or interacting with business to business stuff. And I always appreciate when someone says, listen, Kyle, I just want you to know I am working from home today. So I apologize in advance if you hear any distractions, because I do have the 2 kids with me. You know, my wife is also in the next room trying to do business as well. And I just thought that was an interesting way of starting a conversation, because, you know, then they don't have to, oh, sorry, just one sec, right? They don't have to get all unraveled, right? It's like in my previous world of the airlines, you know, the person who feels most stress is the mother with the baby, right? It's not the people around her, because she's so stressed about the baby making noise, right? But when you get in front of it and just says, listen, here's what's happening right now for me. I just want you to know this is my circumstances, my situation. I'm okay for us to continue this conversation if you are. And what a great way of inviting your authenticity, and then also letting that person know and getting that permission to be like, oh my God, it's okay.
That's fantastic, Kyle. And so I will actually ask Carmel to unmute and please share a little bit about herself. What is her story? And I would love to connect with her on LinkedIn. Please, hint, hint, personalized invite.
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good stuff. I am an executive assistant at IG Wealth Management. So most of my LinkedIn is actually on my supervisor's LinkedIn profile, because we do recruiting through her profile. I really don't do a heck of a lot on mine, and I'm really nervous to say that in this setting, but I really don't spend a lot of time on my own. I'm mostly on my supervisors who I work for.
Of all the people you could have picked, ALnoor, of all the people. But you know what, Carmel, before ALnoor jumps all over you on that, but I think there's an opportunity, Carmel, for you to have your own, though, right?
Yeah.
Like you may not do as much traction, but I think it's that equity that you could be building for your own self around what that looks like as well, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me pick on you. And here's where I can go further with this. You said you work from home, right?
Yeah.
So as an executive assistant, what is your day looking like? That is some content creation right there. When
Okay.
people engage with your content, please make sure you have 3 hashtags, and not to go overboard, like how Kyle, when he's baking, oh my gosh, I have put on 50 pounds. I've lost over 200 pounds, by the way, but just I try not to go on social media, or I just get, sorry, I digress. So where am I going with this is that, yes, Carmel, you can be on your bosses or, you know, who you're working for, so LinkedIn profile, but no job is permanent. However great, and this is what we found with COVID, is that no job is permanent. And what I mean by that is that I'm not putting disservice to your employer, but you are your own person.
Right.
You would highly benefit in seeing, is there an opportunity here for you to get another client, perhaps, so that you can leverage that by showing your authenticity, that how you are managing all those things together in your daily life. You're creating that space by showing, yes, I am putting out these fires, but this is what's happening. And there's that authenticity piece. If you also look at LinkedIn, there is on the right-hand side, there is some trending topics that are happening. Perhaps choose those as how that relates with you. And when you're creating your content, you can use some of that language and create your subject matter expertise. It's all about creating that brand. My brand is not my brand anchors, as I've mentioned before. The light, the red for passion for LinkedIn, the passion for career strategies, the passion for mental health. Yes, I can have all of those because everything now is intertwined. You know, you need all those wonderful ingredients to make all of those Kyles, and you'll never get it as great as him, but at least you know that, right? Is that you are using all of those ingredients. And then one day, when I grow up, I can be Kyle.
Whatever.
Is the message here is that, yes,
Whatever.
am I right or am I right, Catherine? You're blocked. You're muted.
Catherine, stay muted. Okay, so Carmel, that brings up an interesting point. And for other people who are listening to this as well as seeing this, it's not that, you know, we're talking about doubling your work, but there's something about your own thing. Because what I have learned in my experience, I mean, I like to think that I'm approachable. People can speak to me about anything, but sometimes your title or your position or what people perceive of you is sometimes it's not as open and as inviting. So if anything, they'll sometimes reach out to Catherine or someone else in the organization and say, hey, I'm curious, I have some additional questions. And they may feel safer to have those conversations. So that's a missed opportunity as well. And then also back to what AmNoor was saying, Carmel, it creates your own resume of stuff as well, right? And it's not looking like you're new. Right? Because if someone now later on want to use you, say, for example, you've moved on, you're doing different things, they see that category of, oh, you've done X amount of years, you have previous posts where you've talked about those things. So I'm thinking, if she's on my team, what can she do for me as well? Right? Because they're looking at those things, right? I love how she posted about that. I love how engaged she was about that. So anyway, AmNoor, any last thing before we wrap this up? We're right at 15 right now.
Thank you so much. The thing again is I see so many individuals that have that LinkedIn profile where there is so much missed opportunity, right? Everything from not using keywords. And you think keywords, yes, the keywords are in the skills. They are in your headline. They are in your about section. And they are in your work experience. And what happens is if you leverage that, that is search engine optimization, so that when you are creating those, or if people are looking for what you can do, then yes, there is that opportunity for you to be able to, you know, showcase your brand. There is so much more I could talk about. Seriously, Kyle, I could talk about LinkedIn 5 days and I still would not be done.
Yeah.
And you know, I like to talk, and sometimes I feel that there's a competition. But as I said when I started, that reach out to your competition, because together we will collaborate and build a wonderful community. So thank you so much for letting me talk. I know you like to do as well, Kyle.
Leave me out of it. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining this Monday Mindset meeting. We will see you next week. I hope you enjoyed today. Please let us know in the comment what resonated with you the most today. Do you like what AmNoor says? Do you like my face as the brand? Let me know what that looks like for you. Oh, Carmel, I could see you and hear you, really. Anyway, thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great Stampede weekend for those who are celebrating virtually or in their own way. Take care.